Hey everyone, today we have so many results, it's actually insane. We have BCS starting up again, starting right off with Toronto, right? And then we're going to talk about the WGPs. We've got the deluxe happenings in Japan, the Chiho Cups. And then we also have the WGPs happening outside of Japan, right? The SEA regions or the Asia regions. So we've got like Korea happening, Singapore, Indonesia. So a lot of results to kind of go through today. And, let's just get started. I won't be looking into so many decks, but a lot of these ones do have deck log codes. So just go check them out there if you're interested. I'll only be pointing out the interesting decks, right? Because right now, I think in the formats around the globe, we already know how most of these decks really work. So that's that. The SEA region ones, I don't think we have deck lists for. So maybe just keep an eye out for VG top decks. Some of them do post them up later, and we will just take a look there with, their comments and all of that. So first off, let's look at BCS Toronto, right? So we have, starting off with Standard. And this one is way more different from BRO, I feel like. BRO, we saw a lot of Willista, not as much Gandiva, and the Gandivas that did make it to top cut generally disappeared. Right, so a bit of a different one. 3 Gandiva, 1 Willista, Zorga, Chronojet, Hexorb, and MLB. So the MLB really coming into play, I guess. I remember back like months ago when we were talking about this format, DF and another player in Southeast Asia, they got okay with MLB. So this could be the time. And as we can see, the top 4, we had Shreshan Ganesh winning with the Gandiva, and then Teddy Yuan with the Zorga coming in second. And then third, we got Matteo De Leilis with the MLB, right? And then we got Kurt De La Rosa with the Gandiva. So let's kind of just take a look at the list. So this is the Zorga list. I think this is DJ Zero, right? Who used to be a Vanguard Zero player, running the Zorga. Zorga did really well in the BROs, by the way. And I think it's pretty crazy when you think about it, because this is Zorga without the Misty Arc habitats. With the Misty Arc habitats that are coming out in like a couple of weeks, this deck gets another buff, right? So positions it very, very well in a set 11. But right now, this is that without it, and it's already doing okay. Definitely like a nice pick, a nice deck for a lot of players who don't like the meta between like Willista and Gandiva. You don't like the Gandiva because it's just very linear. You don't like the Willista because all you're going to be doing is playing Willista Mirrors. This is a nice kind of third deck that you can pick because it's not a linear deck, and there's a lot of things that you can do with it to kind of maybe maximize its result. One of the interesting things about this one, though, is there's no kill severing. This is one of the builds not running kill severing, just going for the straight up 3-attack build, which is okay because you do get to like rush a bit with Zorga. So if you focus on the rush, don't run the kill severing, you still have a pretty strong game plan still. And to be fair, most of the time when you're playing the deck, you are still just focused on 3 attacks plus getting RPDs ASAP and just popping off with them. So, kind of the kill brings me just more spaces for other things like this Blitz Order, the Sins, abolishments of Sins Blitz Order. Nice just defensive shield and no sanctitude, so you can kind of max out the power of just like having more of this guy. Defending yourself, right? So pretty cool. And the other deck that is kind of interesting is that MLB list. This is just kind of, as I can run some like nice tech. So now you have like 4 of the cyclers, which is very, very cool. And you also have some of the PR support that helps you out, makes the deck entirely work. This is one of the few decks that seems to be able to run the Evergreen Transfer, just because you do have the soul to be able to use it with. And then you don't really combo with a lot of other Blitz orders. So, pretty nice. Give it a try. All right, give it a try. Definitely an interesting deck to be playing Standard. Following that, we have the Premium section. And Premium in Toronto was... I don't know. It's kind of weird. 3 Mega Colony, 3 Link Joker, 1 Dimension Police, and 1 Neo Nectar. And one of the Link Jokers was a Messiah build instead of just like, the Chaos. So 2 Chaos builds making it into top cut, which is... I don't know. That's pretty crazy. And the top 4 was the Virgil Pukin coming in with first with a Gridora build or Mega Colony build. Second was Ronald Rees with the Dimension Police. Third was Alec Goff with the Chaos. I think this is Ootman 23. And then fourth was Peter Van Allen, otherwise known as Peter, with the with, I think it's his favorite deck right now. I've been seeing him play this deck for a very, very long time, ever since the last BCS for sure. Playing Mega Colony again. So the winner build, right, as we can think, is History Collection was available, and you can see them running the Dark Face here, but this is kind of more focused on a Flagberg. So you have, like, you know, starting off you have the Dark Face, but maxing out like 4 Flagberg with the Inlet Pulse, and that's kind of interesting, I have to guess. There's like, I feel like there's a lot of choices that you can run for Mega Colony with grade 3, and then comboing with the old Dark Face. But choosing a Flagberg is like, I guess you get the Inlet Pulse, you get the Persona Ride, you get the extra power. And then apart from the grade 3 choice, I think a lot of the other choices here are kind of more standard, right? And then, yeah, just show your G guards. We'll look at the Peter build as well, like later. But then next we have is the Dimension Police. So this is a Zeal combo build as well. But, you know, because you're running Dimension Police in Premium, you do have to run the Die Liner as your main grade 3. So none of the G stride shenanigans kind of thing. Going for the full Zeal ride line, and yeah, full Zeal ride line, able to kind of combo with just a lot of like markers, right? Capitalizing on your opponent's markers, yeah. And it's, I guess it's like pretty good now, because with the acceleration from History Collection, they get a few more markers, and then boom, you just punish them for that, which is, I guess it's cool. I guess it's cool. And yeah, other than that, just kind of like the one-shot Dimension Police stuff that you can do. And yeah, cool. Good old Dimension Police. Chaos. So Chaos, this is running, got a BCS Springfest Chaos. Yeah, but pretty much Chaos right now is just for, well, at least the ones that was played here. We've got three Photons. Interesting running the Cold Death Dragon. So I guess you have 6 copies of cards that just call from the top of your opponent's deck, so you can kind of mill them out when you get into that late game stage. The Chaos Breaker Dragon combos with, you know, your Destiny Guardian and the PR, the planetary materials, just to get rid of like circles that your opponent gets. And again, they accelerate circles better now, so now you get circles. When they get circles, you get circles later. Those circles are for you, right? And then running the Freeze Ray to kind of defend, I guess, slow down the game, get confirmed locks on the front row, and also Blue OT, right? Blue OT actually not running a Brandgate OT, which is pretty interesting, because, you know, Brandgate OT just straight up wins, but Blue OT kind of lets you grab important cards. But yeah, also just this is the G zone, seeing some loot, right? Glue Ball, pretty cool. Interesting to see Chaos making this far. And then lastly, got Peter's build. And this one focuses more on the GB2 old school Dark Face. Just get that, you know, control set up. And then also running a bit of other things too. 2 of the Hell Demise. Usually run one of this and the other, what do you call it? The guy with the crab arms. So Intrude Scissors, right? So normally people like to split 1-1, but, you know, Peter went 2 of the Hell Demise. This is free. You don't actually need like to pay Soul Blast or anything. You don't get any power, but, you know, just it's free. It's actually free. But then the rest of it seems just pretty standard, right? Running actually just the Blessed Favor though, and then just the G zone. Just Gridora them. Just Gridora. It's just that easy, right? Just that easy. So yeah, 2 different builds of Mega Colony. But Mega Colony really doing strong in Toronto. Mega Colony is kind of like the main deck in America, though. I think we see way more Mega Colony do well there compared to other parts of the world. But I do want to mention, well, I'll mention it later as well, in WGP Indonesia, for the premium section, Gridora also, I'm not sure if it's Gridora specifically, but Mega Colony won there as well. But we don't have the full results, so unfortunately we don't get to see it in a fuzzy pie chart yet. Anyway, let's move on to the V Premium. So V Premium had a pretty decent turnout actually, and, you know, it had 2 Gold Paladin top card and a Bermuda, G, Great Nature, Aqua, Royal Paladin, and a Narukami. So basically a bit of everything, right? Which is, I guess it's interesting, right? It's not, we like our V Premium formats have literally been like the best deck plus a second maybe best deck, but that's it for like X years. But now we have just everything doing well, it seems. And then the top 4, we had Henry Gross winning with an orange deck. And then second was Sergio with the Gold Paladin. And third, we had Grison Wen with the Steam Maiden. And then fourth was Jevon Watson with the Great Nature. So we're going to take a look at the first 2 decks. First off, we just have a straight up orange deck, right? There's a lot of people discussing what is the best Bermuda deck right now. Is it orange? Is it Melody, right? Because Melody got that buff with, you know, cards getting unrestricted. But it looks like so far orange has been doing better than the others, right? And I can kind of see why. You know, it's just a very consistent deck. Power levels kind of dropped a bit. Can bounce Luards like intercepts. So yeah, actually there was no Luards topping at all. So wow, yeah, deck's falling off. And then Sergio's deck here, running the Holy Shine, getting a bit greedy there. But yeah, you know, Holy Shine common sort was discussed like way back with the with Percival, but now Percival's donezo, right? But at least you can still accelerate Excel circles and then go into the Gurgit and just kind of do the Gurgit things, right? So okay, cool. Next we have is Kagoshima. So this was a Chiho Cup. This is a team tournament. It has diversity cut, just letting you know. Lots of Gandivas, 4 Gandivas, 3 Ballista, 3 Bastion, 2 Mikazuki, 2 Magnolia, 2 Orphis, and then 1 the Yaman Bagiri, Hexorb, Overlord, Crane Jet, Meg Colony, Training Tools, and Prison. Right, so basically a lot of Gandiva, decent amount of Token Rumble as well. Let's kind of take a look at the full kind of teams, right? So here I didn't double check where the diversity cut started, but you can kind of tell. So for here, I think diversity cut started after 3rd place because you can just see a total difference in their decks. But first place at the end of Swiss was a Willista, Jet, and Snake, and then you have the Gandiva, Avantgardia, Willista, and then you have Yaman Bagiri, Gandiva, and Mikazuki, and then bam, diversity cut. You see Hexorb, Overlord, and Magnolia. There is one interesting deck here, and this is this team who brought Willista, Bastion. Yeah, so because of ride line shenanigans, you can do, I guess you just run a different Bastion in the ride line, and then you can run 2 Bastions in the deck, in your team. So that's pretty cool. We'll look into it later how they did it. And then the top 4 was actually just won by the Yaman Bagiri team with Gandiva and Mikazuki, right? Because Token Rambu was amazing. So yeah, why not run 2 Token Rambu decks? You can probably run 3, right? You could run like Yaman Bagiri Training Tools and then Mikazuki, right? So you can go full collab there. Second one's good game still, right? They came second in Swiss, able to get second in the overall with the Avantgarde, Willista, and Gandiva. Then was the Hexorb, so 4th place team. Hexorb, Overlord, and the Magnolia, and then the double Bastion came in 4th place with the Willista. Let's kind of take a look at how they did it. So first off, here is the Bastion. Right, you just run Bastion Accord in the main, and then you just run 4 of the old Bastion, and then you're just focusing on, you know, Bastioning. I don't know what else is there to say. No Bastion Primes, which is interesting, because you can still run the Bastion Prime, like 1, 2, 3, 4 copies, whatever you want to run, but they decided not to do it. They just stick with Accord. And then here we have the other side, which is running 4 Bastions with 4 Bastion Accords in the main deck. But what you can actually do with this deck is you just don't ride the Bastion in your ride deck. If you have the Bastion Accord already in your hand, you can just ride the Accord and do Accord things. If you don't, you still have old school Bastion to rely on. And then, you know, just kind of go from there. It's kind of the same thing, because like you have, like, if you just look at the numbers, right? If you have in the ride deck, you have 3 Persona rides. If you had to ride from hand, you still have 3 Persona rides in your hand. You just have like less Bastions to kind of discard, I guess. But who cares? You already have so many Bastions. It's all good, right? It's all good. But otherwise, you know, if you don't have it, or if you want to just delay it, you can still just run old Bastion. Especially going first, because I feel like the numbers still hit the same anyway. But yeah, that's kind of what you can do with, I guess, playing a double Bastion in your team. And then lastly, there was this kind of Seraph deck that kind of topped. Seraph's been doing alright. I'm a huge fan of Seraph. You might know that. Basically, the new cards are these 2 PRs. So this is the one that just gets you more Seraph Pure Lights. This is the one that lets you draw cards. This replaces Shovel Stud. But something interesting picks now is the new grade 3. from set 10. This just has guard restrict, but able to prison more things. And then you also can run counterblast stuff because you hardly use counterblast anymore. You have this card from set 12 as well that just kind of build a field. So you can play a more aggressive build. Back then, you know, Prism was playing a very lame and boring build that kind of just wait until your opponent deck out. That was kind of one of your main win conditions. But now you can just build up a board quickly and then just bash your opponent and then watch them die. Good times. Good times. Next we have is Korea. So WGP Korea. This is 2 Mikazuki and Zorga. And then a Prison, Amina Gruzio, Avantgardia, and Greedon. Right, and the top 4 was actually the 2 Mikazuki teams. I think the first place was Taunt. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he did post something and say he won. And then third was the Seraph, and then fourth was Greedon. Right, and we do have some of the deck lists. These are just kind of posted. So first off, here is the first place, what you call it, Mikazuki deck, running the Forge and all that. So very, very nice, absolutely insane deck, right? And then next we have is the Seraph deck as well. This came third, which is pretty good. Actually, do we have the other one as well? No, I think, yeah. So second we have the third with the Prison, right? Pure Light Prison. Only running 3 Pure Lights, but that's fine. Again, you can salvage them and make them just for free. Also running the 4-bit. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's cool. And then lastly, we have the Greedon. So I think this is the 4th place Greedon list. And yeah, pretty nice. Greedon still doing okay. It's been topping once in a while. I think last time it won something a while back, right? So yeah, this is coming up soon as well. I think in set 11 for us. So keep an eye out for this deck. And then next we also have Surabaya. So 3 Ballistic in this one, top 8. These had no diversity card by it. Every WGP outside of Japan should have no diversity card. But correct me if I'm wrong, right? But this had 3 Ballista, 1 Gandiva, Magnolia, Orphist, Mushiki, and Thegria. And then this was actually won by the Ballista player, Michael Wijaya. Second was Biantoro Junior, right? Apparently that's the correct name with Gandiva. Third was Sylvester Kevin with the Ballista, and fourth was Audicio Bermuda with the Magnolia. And I think this Ballista player is the one. If you saw some of the posts way back, there was a bit of memes saying where a player got crit OT'd, and they were like, I will not lose again. And yeah, they stuck with the word and they didn't lose. They just won. They won WGP. So big congrats to them, right? No more losing, just winning. Yeah. And then next we have is Singapore top 8. This was 2 Bastion, 2 Mikazuki, then 1 Gravia, Orphis, Yaman Bagiri, and Mushi King. And this was won by the Bastion Accord. Second was Mushi King as well. And then third was the Yaman Bagiri, and fourth was Orphis Masks. And I think we do have some of the lists here. So this was first place was Bastion Accord from Benjamin Soon. Very nice, very nice. Running the 4 primes, right? So kind of different from the ones that we saw in Japan. Some of the Japan lists seem to be taking out the primes, but here they're still running it. And then the 4th place Orphis list here as well. Orphis been really popping off recently. People have been rating it very, very highly, and it's been doing pretty well. So with set 12 coming out soon, well, you can kind of build this deck too. So this is by Syndicate Panda. So very cool. So congratulations everyone. I'm pretty sure there'll be more lists from the WGPs on VG Top Decks on Thursday, or when we record it on Thursday. So you can go check it out this week's VG, well, next week's or this week's VG Top Decks when it comes out. But yeah, that is all the lists this week. A lot of results. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll see you all next time. All right, bye.